program I'm running takes in the video and the audio at the same time, and so it lays it
Okay.
into one thing. I could always separate it, but I tried doing that because like you can get it to sound better and look better. It is
Yeah.
so difficult to match that up. I don't. I mean, you have to be like expert level in my eyes. Maybe it's not that,
There
but
has to be. I would imagine there would have to be. I mean, of course, everything costs fucking money like usual,
yeah.
but I would presume there would have to be a system for this kind of shit that you could
Oh yeah, they do.
get.
They have well, like because you can't see it, but there's a switchboard right here that I have. All the cameras connect to the computer, and then it's called
Sure.
OBS. It's OBS Studio, and so I could do up to four cameras, four microphones, all of them all sync together if we were like sitting in the same room. I run it through
Yeah.
Discord because I don't have to pay for it, and then it's honestly I've always had more. Every chat, every podcast I've done has been with Discord. Everything like that I
Yeah.
ever did in my corporate life was with Zoom or Teams, and it was always like the worst video ever. And I would always sit in those chats and just sit there and think like, I play video games with kids across the world, and we get better feeds than this shit. Like, how is Zoom making this much money? You know what I mean? Like, literally, Discord is free, and Zoom charges. And it doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? I think Discord is a way better functionality, and they could honestly probably put Zoom out of business because they invest more because of the gaming side. Gamers don't want to fuck around with slow stuff. You know what I mean? Like they're one of the more
You're right.
critical sides. But
Well, there's other ways to make money. What's we call Discord because like when I'm on Discord and I play War of Rights with my group, I mean you can get different backgrounds and other shit to add
yeah.
onto your profile like crap. And you know people are dumb enough to spend money on that shit
Oh,
and
dude,
everything.
the way that they broke out video games from, do you remember what like N64 was like $60 to get a video game? And
Yeah,
then
well shit, $70 still to get a game.
yeah, and on top of it, you're only getting a quarter of what they used to give you, if that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's funny because back I don't know how it is now because I know a lot of it's downloadable already, but I know when you were buying the CD, you had all the content on that CD, but you had to pay for their stupid ass passcode to unlock it, which is like this is total bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? They took a way to make a $60 game into almost like a $200 game, and now on top of it, they don't. A lot of games, I mean, some games you don't have to pay for anymore because then they just fucking charge you all these add-ons, And that was a
Oh
way
yeah,
smarter thing because it's a lot easier for a parent to say yes to 3.99 18 times than it is a parent to say yes to $60 once. You know what I mean?
yeah, oh yeah,
Like,
because like the three something sounds so cheaper, not so bad, but people don't realize that shit adds up real quick, and
yeah.
that you're paying that 60 whether you fucking realize it or not. It's coming out of your ass one way or another.
Yeah, well, it's Pokemon Go. Dude, Pokemon Go, I spent so much money on, and then they locked me out of my account. I was like, you're fucking joking me, right? How can
You
you?
serious?
Yeah, dude. I had like three. During COVID, that's all I did. I would just go drive around and fucking play Pokemon Go. Like, I literally had a group on Discord. There was a bunch of us, dude. And it was funny because, like, there was an older guy. There was, like, this super young mom. I mean, she was really good looking, too. But, like, she was totally loaded. You could tell. It was weird. Like, when she pulled one, I was
It's
like,
got nothing else to do,
yeah, no.
and dad or somebody else out there fucking around, not giving a shit about her, so she's out there fucking playing fucking Pokemon with a bunch of random fucking strangers.
A bunch of random dudes that literally when I first yeah, like she would hit me up super late at night like, hey, you want to go do this raid? I was like, yeah, I'll go do it with you. All right, that's fine. Like we go do a raid, but like it was never anything more than that, but like it was totally plutonic, but it was just fucking weird. Like she was so cool though. Like she was just like a down there, like you tell she probably like grew up like a little dorky, but she just grew into this beautiful person, and so but yeah,
Duckling syndrome.
yeah, 100%, 100%. Um, she was cool though, but like, yeah, dude, she drove around a fucking a G wagon, like, and it had rims on it, like, nice old sound system in it, freaking. And then like one dude was like, the reason I started doing four phones is because this dude literally had two tablets and four phones. And he would play. He had a little thing on his mat, and he would play all of them in raids with us. Like it was, we were such fucking losers. And like obviously, I think me and her were the youngest. She was older than me still, so she had to be at least like almost in her 40s. He was probably retired, 55, something like that, 60, playing with us. And then there's a couple other random like,
Gotta be careful of some weirdos, man. They could be fucking having some shit in the basement
yeah,
waiting
yeah,
for you. Go over the house and hang out. Yeah,
yeah, fuck that. I wasn't going home with no one besides maybe her. No,
yeah.
I'm
You
joking.
be hanging out in Buffalo basement.
Yeah. The skin, it puts the lotion on the skin or it gets the hose again.
Yeah, and if you're lucky and the cops come and rescue you, then you can sit there and tell them how you wound up in that situation playing Pokemon bullshit.
Fucking Pokemon Go. He told me he had rare Pokemons in his basement, man. This is some bullshit. I just wanted to catch a Charizard. Like, what the fuck?
They threaten to kill you if you don't give the code to your account and shit, so he can inherit it after he fucking skins you alive.
Oh my god, I'm wearing my
Oh,
skin,
man.
dancing around, tucking his shit. Oh,
Oh,
dude.
yeah, you'll be hearing that music in the background while you're in that pit.
Anytime I think of Buffalo Bill, I think about Joe Dirt.
Oh
Dude.
man, I don't know if I could draw a comparison between the two. I mean, at least
No,
Joe
the
Dirt.
movie. The movie. Remember how he gets thrown in the hole by the dude?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I
Yeah,
remember that. Yeah.
yeah. He gets thrown in the hole by Buffalo Bill, and they save him.
Oh shit.
Fucking the life of Joe Dirt, dude.
Oh,
Oh
and that
man.
song. I hear that song. I always think of that fucking movie too, man. That's the fucked up part about it. It's like, oh shit.
You know what? When you say movie, I think of Hellraiser with you, cause there was,
Hellraiser.
yeah, cause there was one time when we were kids. I was over the house, over your mom's house, and you guys were watching it. And I was like, "What is this? This is so cool!" And your mom wouldn't let me watch it.
I remember. I think I only watched. I barely remember the Hellraiser.
This was
I
a
think I
long time ago,
think
dude.
I think I watched the one, but I don't really remember that one too well. I never. I mean, I like scary movies, but I never really got into the into those really. I mean, Freddy, I watched the Freddy ones, but like Michael Myers and all that shit, never got into that one. I always got into like the ghosts, like shit you can't see. That's what really freaked you the fuck out. You couldn't see that shit.
Yeah, no, I get that. I do like Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger and Jason. I didn't like the new Jason because I felt like he was just a killing machine. The dude was like a hatchet throwing champion and shit, fucking hitting people from like 40 yards away. I mean, this isn't even fair anymore. Like, what the fuck? Like, dude has superhuman strength and plus he's a fucking archer. He's a professional archer, hatchet thrower. If I'm not mistaken, they had him like with rewards on the shelf and shit too. Even I think it was like Rob Zombies, maybe. No, that was Halloween.
Yeah, I think Rob Zombie was Halloween. I think.
I think my favorite Halloween would have probably been Halloween H2O because you never saw. I mean, yeah, you saw him like kill the dorky black guy in Jason or sorry, Michael Myers. But
Yeah.
when he fought Busta Rhymes fucked his ass up. I was like, get him! He roundhouse kicked him and shit. It was pretty cool. I was happy with it. But yeah, I liked Halloween H2. Oh no, that wasn't H2O. That was Halloween Resurrection, I think. That was the last good one after H2O.
The one Rob Zombie movie he made. It was about fuck, I forgot the name of it. It has something to do with the witches of Salem. I'm trying to remember. That one was kind of fucking weird. That kind of creeped me out a little bit. Um, in the movie, I guess some girl, her ancestors were either one of the witches or the victims of the Salem witch trials, and they kept playing this album that sounded like shit, like a screechy violin or something. And you know what I'm talking about, right?
I think so, yeah. Rob Zombie, Salem Witch.
I forgot the name of the fucking movie. I can't remember it. If you find it and say it, I'll probably remember it.
Lords of Salem?
Because he played in it too. She worked like at a radio station. She was like a radio show host.
Yeah, so Lords of Salem.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was kind of creepy in a way too, because that was like some devil worshippers in there and shit. And this, yeah.
Dude, that's like, oh, what's that movie? The Hills Have
If you're looking
Eyes.
at the night, that'd be a good one you could watch.
What is it?
Lords of Salem.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely check it out. It's hard to watch scary movies now though, because like Skylar will wake up and be like, "Oh my god, turn it off!" Or if she's awake, there's no way in hell I could have it on because like I try.
You'd be like, "You're gonna watch this shit."
Yeah, then I'll be up all night with her. Fucking, it's like a punishment for But
Middle of the night, you want to come watch TV? Okay, you're gonna learn your lesson.
yeah, no, that I do tell her. If she wakes up and then comes and starts watching, and I'm like, no, either go back to bed or you have to deal with it because I'm not changing it. But
Yeah.
like she gets freaked out by like the music because you know how like they'll put like the scary music and stuff or like tense music when shit's getting about to pop off. She gets scared from that. Like she'll wake up and be like, "Oh, turn it off." I'm like, "Skylar, go back to bed. Like, stop." Like, no, it's just music. And like, it wouldn't be a scary movie. It would just be like a tense moment, and she gets all freaked out.
Hey, just get her a pair of earmuffs.
Right? No, I have a couple from the gun range, and I have the kids wear them when I mow the lawn with them on my lap. They love that. But yeah, no, dude, Halloween. I mean, with scary movies, Halloween was not a bad one. I was Joker this year with the kids. Over the years, I've like compiled a bunch of Joker crap because I've been them so many times. My favorite one's the Jared Leto Joker to be. I used to like Heath Ledger's the best, which I have a hard time choosing between those two. I think each Joker kind of emulates this. I don't like the newest Joker, Joaquin. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Shit, I know you're talking about. I can't remember his fucking. I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know. I guess I'm maybe old school. If I had to pick
Jack Nicholson.
role, I gotta go with Jack Nicholson, man. I like Jack's personality, the way he says shit, how he says shit. You know, you can't go wrong with Jack Nicholson, man. And then even, I'm not into like I said, I'm not big into the Batman films, but if I had to pick one, it's gonna be Michael Keaton. Everybody else is like, okay, whatever, But they got so many fucking movies of that. It's like, fuck, man, pick a Batman and stay with him for a while. Every time you come on a new fucking movie, you got to pick somebody else.
Yeah.
But then again, every fucking 10 years or 5 years for them to make another one. And then you got to pick somebody else. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Batman's kind of like Spider-Man. It's been rebooted a lot. You know what I mean? Like in the comic book world. And
Too many. It's a lack of writing talent out there. I mean, if you're going to come out with some new storyline or, I don't know, come out with a new fucking character or some shit, you're paying all this fucking money.
Dude, can you imagine though? Like every comic book hero that could possibly be thought of, I think, as of right now, has pretty much been thought of. I mean, they even went to a point where Marvel and DC started doing crossover heroes. Like they would have they would have say they took, I don't know, Wolverine from Marvel and then Batman from DC. They'd be like Batwolf or something like Batwolver. Like I don't know, that's a horrible example, but
Yeah.
it would be those two.
Didn't they have like Iron Man and a couple other characters together in some recent movie, something like that?
Nothing. No, they. I don't think they've crossed in anything recent. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that because WB obviously owns DC and obviously Disney with Marvel, but I don't think they've done any crossover stuff like that. Like X-Men and Marvel, yes, because they fall under the same umbrella. They've always fallen under Marvel. X-Men have.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. 20th Century Fox actually bought the rights to X-Men a long time ago before Marvel like cracked back off. But it's funny because like even Blade is Marvel. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people knew that before Deadpool 3. Yeah. He's in Deadpool.
I thought Blade was like all different.
Oh, no,
shit.
no.
I didn't read comic book until a couple of years ago. Someone was telling me. And when I saw the movie, Blade came out, I thought it was just some independent shit. I didn't realize it was from a comic book.
Not a lot of there's a lot of good like action movies used to be comic books. And another funny thing about movies in America, a lot of them are India ripoffs. Not a lot of people know that. Most good movies you've seen in America were done in India and done in Bollywood first.
Well, yeah, those motherfuckers are cranking out fucking movies like every 5 minutes, but they're still low budget and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah. You definitely had to have acquired taste for those movies. They definitely you'll see some strings sometimes for sure. No, look, he's flying. See those things holding him up? It's like a
Like Kung
movie.
Fu watch.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Yes.
Fucking
So,
the old kung fu movies. Those ones
yeah,
used
I used to
to.
come on like shit, and they're low budget Chinese flicks and shit. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Used to see a kid.
But
Probably
yeah,
find them on YouTube.
you probably can still. I mean, that's the kung fu movies were definitely. I mean, they were good, but they weren't that good. You know what I mean? Like, and even some of the ones now, you can still kind of tell. Like, they kind of make the dude like float. You know, like it's still like, come on, you can at least make it a
Oh,
little bit more realistic. Like, what's the life? Not life. Oh, the Life of Pi is a movie, but it's a kung fu movie that just came out not that long ago. They came out with like a 2 or 3 already because they can pump them out quickly. I don't know. The guy that played in Star Wars played it. He played one of the one blind dude that's like, I am one with the Force is one with me. He just kept repeating that shit on Rogue One. I can't remember his name.
I don't think I don't think I've seen any of like the newest Star Wars. I mean, I've seen the old school, the three old ones.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple newer ones, like with Anakin growing up, but a lot of the other ones, I just, didn't really get into those or didn't give a shit if I seen those.
Yeah. No, see, I like I'm a Star Wars nerd. I mean, I got that's baby Grogu in the background right there with the man. You can't see the Mandalorian, but then also too, I got a Marvel poster right there, and I got a map of the world right there. It's kind of weird. I didn't really think about it, but like I kind of did every corner with like my favorite things. I got the Heath Ledger Joker poster right over there. It always looks like it's staring at you. But yeah, no, the Jared Leto Joker. So okay, back to the Joker thing though. Sorry, we kind of went on a trail there. So the Jack Nicholson Joker is a gangster of his time. Jared Leto is actually an equivalent of that. He's just a gangster more relevant with our time. You know what I mean? If you truly think about it, like Jack Nicholson was a 1950s gangster. That was what the time he was playing in. So he's like perfect at it. Jared Leto is a 2022 gangster. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you could see it. But I love his laugh and like the hand tattoo right here. That honestly, when I'm I keep saying it because I would love to get that tattoo. I just couldn't. I know it would hurt me in trying to get work and everything. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Why he got a big ass smiley face on his hand?
Hey, if everything blows up, nobody gives a shit at that point.
Dude, it's about to fucking socialist
You get whatever
bastards.
you want. I'll get tattooed on your face.
Dude, I'll get fucking. Well, dude, I got this on my stomach from Halloween. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. Ugh.
Like a real tattoo or a fake
Oh
tattoo?
no, it's fake. It just says Joker.
Oh, okay. I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
And then I had the like the jester. I had the jester head up here, and then the ha 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 up here.
Just make sure you don't get tramp stamp.
Oh, bro, I already got one of those. Let's enter here. If you're looking for a good time, part the ocean. Oh man, yeah, no,
I guess you gotta come somehow, right?
right, yeah, fuck, teach their own, but that's not for me. Um, I honestly, I almost got a tattoo a little bit ago because I had a girl on here. She completely home grew a tattoo convention, and it did well. I mean, dude, every chair was pretty much going from the time I got there to the time I left. I mean, I popped out, went to the carnival for a little bit with Skylar, and Luca because we had them with us, and obviously walk around a tattoo convention ain't too much fun. They did have tattooing though for the kids, like temporary tattoos and then henna ink. And I actually had the girl draw the hand on my thing, and she did it freehand. And everyone's like, "Oh, she's messing it up." I'm like, "No, dude, she's doing great. She did so good." I had like, and this girl was maybe 13, 14. Her and the girl who ran the convention, her daughter, and another mom who runs a horse stable, her daughter were the ones doing the henna ink. And I had about 15 people go, dude, that tattoo's badass. You get it done here? I'm like, dude, it's temporary. Like everyone thought it was real, and like it was so cool that another dude went and actually had her do it on his hand again. He's like, I'm gonna get this tattooed. I'm like, you fucker, could take my tattoo idea. It's like, but
Like,
dude, it's honestly, I said when I turn 55, when I retire, whether 55 or 65, whatever it is, I'm gonna go get some Botox shot in my hand. And I'm gonna get that shit tattooed on there. Well, because it's gonna be all wrinkly, bro. Like, you know what I mean? 55. Hopefully not, but
well, there's the way after a while, man.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. No, I really do.
But the retirement's going to be gone. Ain't gonna be no such thing as retirement.
I honestly don't plan on it anyways, man. If you retire, you die. You know what I mean? Like you. It's just the truth. That motherfuckers never live past 70. I feel like. You know what I mean? They just sit around, break down. It's just, dude, our body. That's.
I don't. Oh, it just all depends. I mean, if you're just gonna just retire and then not do nothing, well, then yeah, you wonder why you're gonna go fucking batshit crazy or fall apart. After that, I mean, the way I look at it like this: if I survived, if I live that long, and there is a thing called retirement, by the time I even get there, I'm gonna find some shit to do, man. You know what I mean? Whether it's dicking around collecting something, or maybe finally get off my ass and do something together. Maybe do what you're doing right now. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's doing something. You know what I mean? You gotta find something to do, just like right now. If you're looking for a job or doing shit, or you're looking for something to get into, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah. No, it really is. And so that's why I mean, like, I'm never going to retire. Like, what's the point? I never understood, like, I understand some jobs are high stress and you want to get out of it. Like, that's why people retire and go work at Walmart. Why not just take a lower position at your already job? You already know the fucking thing. You already can do it with the back of your hand. Say, hey, I'm going to step down, let someone else take the reins, and I'll train. You know what I mean? Like, there's other ways around it, and you can still make good money. Like, I never understood the retiring from a job to go work at fucking Walmart. Green, like,
But that all depends, because maybe the field that you want to take a lower position in, there ain't no such thing as a lower
yeah,
position in.
yeah,
I mean, you're working a certain position, that company or whatever you're doing has a certain expectation. They don't got lower bullshit part-time guys working. You know what I mean? It's flat out what it is. And so with that being said, you get out and you want something to do just to do.
yeah,
That's why you got the greeter shit at Walmart. Um, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I get what you're saying. It makes sense. You could take a pay cut or do a less position in some places, but in many cases, that's not always a choice.
yeah.
Either you work or you don't.
No, no, yeah,
It's just,
that's a good point. I would just,
so
I, I always like, I feel so bad, like, seeing an older guy stock a shelf. It's like, dude, didn't they just have a young dude greeting up front? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, I sometimes feel like they fuck with some of the older people too at Walmart. Like, or
well, there's assholes that fuck with people regardless of
yeah,
who it is and else. Like, I got a friend of mine I used to work with when I was detailing at the RV dealership.
yeah,
Um, he was retired. He worked at a steel mill, and he worked his ass off for I don't know how many fucking years, and he had enough to fucking retire and shit like that. His wife, managed his money, so he did obviously did some right things. But he just wants a job or some just shit to do, whether it's part time or not. You know what I mean? Just to do shit because he's so used to doing something. Even when we got laid off, we got paid unemployment for a short time, but he was fucking going crazy, just sitting at home and chilling.
yeah. It's
But I
hard.
mean, if I was in that situation, like I said, whatever hobbies or interests that I would do or into, I would dive. I would dive into that. I mean, if I was retired, I would probably maybe try to take one of the positions, one of the officers at my lodge or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Uh, you know what I mean? There's stuff to do, man. There's stuff to do. There's stuff to do in life. Just because you retire, that doesn't mean there's nothing out there to do.
no, retirement, the golden years, and that's the sad thing. Because like, I don't know, I, I personally just, I mean, I just want to chill. I know, I'll keep myself busy with like random stupid crap, but I really just want to enjoy nature. That's what I want to do, and like I know it's gonna be harder even when I get older.
Like hiking at certain places if you want to. Travel to different state parks, take a couple look at things like that. I mean, hell, you like doing the show you're doing now. You could, I don't know, get more into that. Figure out a way to, I don't know, expand it or add to it or whatever. You know what I mean? So I mean, there's stuff to do. Just because you quit working the 9 to 5, that doesn't mean life is over. I don't know why people get in that mode. They put themselves in that mode when they don't got shit to do afterwards. Everybody gets a hobby and interest. Dive into that shit.
Yeah, like,
Uh,
and I honestly, I feel extremely blessed for where I'm at now. Like I know things have been rough, like, and I'm doing construction now, which is a lot harder than what I was doing, but the podcast, my faith is strong, and I'm becoming more involved in my church, and it just the I, whether you're religious or not, there's something to say, for me at least, how happy it makes me just to be going to any event with my church. Like it's not even like, oh, I'm going to socialize and hang out. No, it just makes me happy that I'm going to worship God. But it's there was the three
but
things that I need.
hanging out and you are socializing with other
Yeah,
people. It's not
yeah,
the one man show kind of deal.
no, yeah, 100%. And and that is a great thing of it, but it's not what makes me happy about it. It just makes me happy to be able to grow my faith and hear other people speak on theirs, and that allow me to grow, because it I haven't had the greatest framework for how I should act in society and stuff like that, and how I should be. You know, my parents did the best they could, but unfortunately, it was like I was the youngest of them all, and they pretty much just kind of let me do my thing, and I've always shaped myself around the people I'm around, and it's just interesting to hear how people's lives have traversed them through those grounds, and then taking some of the things that I hear that really resonate with me and kind of applying them to my own life. And like one thing this guy spoke about at one of this worship nights I go to, it's he's like, I've my he lost his sister, and in her journal she would write in the margins, and so he took that as, okay, I need to fill my margins in my life, and I need to fill them with God. And so like that's kind of what I've started to do, because that like just resonated with me for the whole week. And like it's that type of thing right there. Like, yeah, we sang, we listened to a couple people talk about their journey to God, and but that little two sentences stuck with me for like over a week. I literally had to pull them aside in church, and like I'm like, hey, thank you so much, because I don't know why, but what you said has echoed in my head for days on end. And and call me crazy, call me whatever. Like I've had some things happen to me that like I can't explain outside of dying, like almost dying. Though there's at least four of those instances. I can't explain why I survived those, but I can't also explain why I've seen some things that I have. Like I had I'll just say it, and people think I'm fucking crazy. Like, yeah, I've taken hallucinogens in my life, and I don't care about that. Like, I know the difference between a hallucination and whatever the fuck happened that night. I was watching this sermon called Crazy Faith, and I don't know how, I don't know what the fuck. I shouldn't even say that, but I don't know what happened at all. I was sitting there, and all of a sudden I was on a beach, and rounding the corner was my mom. And I have never seen my mom's face since she passed away in a dream or anything. But she was like teenager, and she was in tow of somebody. Someone was pulling her from, I didn't see who it was, because all I saw was her. I saw her round the corner. I saw her round the corner, come around, and she grabbed my hand. And as like her hand was in mine, getting pulled away because she was in tow of somebody, she goes,
Yeah.
"You're doing great. Just remember, just keep moving." And she had the biggest smile on her face. And I always took that was kind of her way of like saying goodbye to me for the last time, that she was, in hell for committing suicide. And then I met this dude at a wedding. He's like, "Dude, don't ever say that. You don't know that." And so I was like, maybe I am looking at this in the wrong way. She was smiling. She was young and beautiful. I'd never seen my mom as a teenager. I don't have a picture of it. I've never seen it in my life. And I didn't recognize who it was at first until I truly thought about it. I'm like, she knew my name, and like the way she held my hand. But then right after she went away, I snapped back to myself sitting on the floor doing yoga, watching this Crazy Faith thing. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? This is, it was the most like it was the most mind-boggling thing, and it still resonates with me so much. But the more I think about it, is I think that was her being pulled out of hell. That's the way I interpret it in my head now. And I almost got JKM tattooed on me. Just keep moving, and I'm going to get it tattooed on me probably because
I mean, think of it is, I mean, when you kind of look at it, 'cause, I mean, I'm sure you probably looked at it from a whole bunch of different angles and
yeah,
everything, but how can you really say? How do you even know
wasn't
she
hell.
even you know
Um,
what I mean?
yeah,
I
and
mean, when you look at it, there's certain circumstances of things went on, and I know your mom had some issues and things like that going on, and a
yeah.
bunch of different stuff. So I mean, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Who to say that even took place? You know what I mean?
No, and you are completely right. You really are. You are completely right because I I don't think she had the biggest smile on her face in the world, and how happy she was, and just like it was weird. Like I can't explain it, and like that's why I don't talk about it that much at all because like it it makes me feel crazy that it happened to me. Nevertheless, if I heard someone talking about something like this, I'd be like, dude, are you sure you weren't tripping on something? Like it literally it was more vivid than any hallucination I've had while on a hallucinogenic too. And I mean, I've done DMT, I've taken psilocybin, and I've taken LSD. So it's like I partied a lot when I was younger, and so and like I can admit that I probably wouldn't take acid ever again. But mushrooms I definitely would. I think there's a cleansing of that to yourself, and it does kind of object with my Christianity in a way because our body is supposed to be a temple. But I also, on the other hand, I feel there's a valid argument of God gave us all domain over animal and plants, and so with that, these two things grow on this planet. We have domain over them, which that's like saying, oh, you can't eat corn. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like like what the fuck? Why can't I eat corn?
Moderation. I mean, obviously,
There's
you know,
recept like
it's not good. You drink too much, it's gonna fuck you up. You smoke too much, it's gonna mess you up. So I mean, if you're gonna
moderation for
sit
sure.
there all the time, yeah, it's gonna mess you up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To a degree. So I mean, but I understand what you're saying about that part. I personally don't see anything wrong with some of that, as long as you're kind of doing it in a responsible kind of way. You're not just out there wandering the streets in traffic, just
Yeah.
taking shit and then
Well,
starting.
you also have to. I mean, there's using it to party, and then there's using it as kind of like a medicine almost. You know what I mean? And
Right.
traditionally, throughout my life, I've always used mushrooms and acid in a way to party when I was younger. Um, I've never taken acid to kind of grow. I've taken mushrooms too, and they're the ones that led me back to God. And that's you know what
But
I mean? Like,
but mushrooms, wouldn't that be more considered? I mean, I don't know, but wouldn't that be considered more like an organic matter than opposed to acid? Acid is more of like a man-made type thing. I
yes
understand.
and no, because it's actually derived from ergot. And so ergot is a fungus that grows on wheat,
Okay.
and it was synthesized by Robert Hoffman, I believe it was, in the early 19 or maybe 1930 something, 1938.
I,
So
yeah, I think I know what you're talking about because
he got a little on his finger and then freaking tripped balls and went home.
yeah, they think that the possible. Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because I can't remember. I watched a documentary. This was maybe like a number of years ago. They're talking about the Salem witch trials,
Oh
and
yeah,
they brought up the fungus on that wheat, and some people are it's a theory. Obviously, they don't got the wheat from back then to know for sure, but they found it
but
growing on, and they think people like consumed that, and I think possibly that's what could have brought on a lot of the stuff they were claiming to see and everything else.
they do have proof of it though. If I'm not
Oh,
mistaken, they were able to take there's something they did with soil samples or something from or oh no, the weather patterns because of the weather. It's because that's what causes ergot to grow.
Okay.
Not Robert Hoffman, Albert Hoffman. Sorry, Robert Hoffman. Some like young. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? No, Albert Hoffman was the one who discovered LSD. But okay, so what it was is if you go back in our like what do they call it? Like our I don't know, our weather pad, our weather
Yeah.
we can tell what our weather was before because we recorded it and stuff like that. But also if there was an early cool, I'm totally butchering this. I can't remember it, and I don't want to sound like I already sound like an idiot. But
But I get what you're getting at though.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was a way for them to actually trace it, and they're pretty sure that they did get ergot that year or those years, most likely, more than likely. I mean, they probably got it every year on a certain amount of crop. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I don't know, bitches are already crazy. Oh, they're already crazy. So. That is such a reactionary statement right there. Oh wow, that's funny. But yeah. So give them a little acid, stuff gets real wild, bro. And ergot is a synthesis of, or LSD is a synthesis of ergot. And so with that, if they were getting straight ergot, that was probably like that had to be intense. You know what I mean?
But the
And
crazy
it
thing
probably
is,
killed them too.
but even if that's the case, you would think that you would have saw that I don't know more widespread throughout the community then too.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't.
I
I
mean,
mean, it could depending on where they got the wheat from harvested in that one field. You probably could have had high values of that more than I don't know the field across town,
and it
depending on.
Well, it very well could, because Salem could have been in a spot to where cooling came quicker. You know what I mean? It could have. I have no idea about geographics of that area, but if something is lower, then if it's closer to sea level, dew settles down. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna have pockets of different temperature in areas, but
Right.
but no, yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about, where they accredited some of it to it, but so technically, LSD, yes, it's synthesized though, and so it's extracted. So yes, man's hands do touch it at that point. So I get what you mean. Whereas psilocybin, you can go flip
Like I
over
said,
some cow patties and you got it. Like there's also many other there's many forms of of psilocybin mushrooms. Um, there's a
oh,
lot
guns and
actually.
mushrooms.
There's I mean there's cubensis, or is it cubensis? I don't know. There's a whole list of them though. Like I didn't even know that up until like 2 years ago. It's crazy how many there are. And like the one way to tell if a mushroom has psilocybin in it is to pinch it and it will turn blue. Everyone always thinks like, oh cool, these ones are blue. Oh, that just means someone pinched your mushroom. That's it, dude. Like that's it.
Oh,
It happens when you pick them from the ground where your fingers pinch. It will turn blue. That's how you know if it's real mushrooms. Because unfortunately, you get POSs who will either take something like a synthesized chemical. Like there was something when we were in high school called 2CE, and it was a hallucinogen. Whoa, dude, this stuff rocked your world like hard, hard. And people will take stuff like that and put it on like a different type of mushroom and try to sell it to you as mushrooms. Like I had it happen to me, and I pinched it. And I was like, dude, you can get out of here. Like, I'm never calling you again. Like, you POS. Like, what
you
the
try
hell?
some bootleg shit.
Yeah, dude. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That to me is like the grossest stuff you can do as a person. Like that. Just if you're gonna be that level of person, at least be a decent level of that person. Like I guess I'm asking too much to ask a drug dealer to be decent, but that's the one
Girls.
shitty thing, dude. It's the one shitty thing though, because like if this, I mean, psilocybin has outstanding effects. Like it really does. Like even just the effects on the body that it does for you, it really does. And the mind clearing effects. I mean, there's so many people who can say that. I mean, we see the studies with microdosing. I mean, microdosing, it literally just for the brain, when you take microdosing over a long period of time, you actually get more neuron growth it reignites synapses that had otherwise died out. There are synapses that just naturally we stop using as we grow older because of disconnection from different activities and things like that. Those get excited again. We have all neurons firing and talking to each other. When they did, well, this was I haven't, I can't think of the one that I've seen on for psilocybin scans, but they've done scans on individuals that are on LSD, and when you show their brain not on LSD, all you see is these little pins for activity, like it's like little dots, like looking up at the stars. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then you look at the brain on LSD, and it's like the fucking sun's in front of your face because all the activity. It's absolutely bonkers, dude. And it's like, wait, this is what's going on. And so,
Hmm.
kind of what I've come to conclude when being on like certain hallucinogens is, I think you're just seeing things that we don't normally pick up. I think our photons become expanded. I think our brain becomes a little bit more receptive of what's around us. And I think you're picking up on things that aren't around you. Obviously, I don't think you're seeing little green men running around. I mean, maybe different dimensions. I don't know. You know, anything's possible. But I like when
They
you see
around,
waves.
and I've heard things about with those kind of taking those kind of things that it I don't know, it heightens the senses, your antennas pick up more. So I mean, I'm not a scientist. I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of anecdotal evidence that speaks to that I've
Culture,
heard of.
so
Like there was a guy who was otherwise clinically deaf, and he took psilocybin, and like he's like, dude, I almost went crazy. And, you know, you listen to the stories, you're like, oh shit, what did it do to him? But he's like, I heard these little sounds, and they were like, you know, they would be like to us, but to him it was like like sounding like rapid gunfire almost. He thought, and so he went out back, and he like, I could hear it. Then I'd walk away from my portion of it would go away, and he came to realize that he was hearing ants walking across his deck, and this dude was otherwise clinically deaf, and was able to get some of his hearing back. And that, I mean, that does happen. I mean, your hearing becomes extremely well. Like I've always noticed, like when one sense, kind of like the Daredevil thing, one sense starts to go back, your other sense heighten. So like when you're
right,
hungry, we can hear better, we can see better, and we can smell better when we're hungry. And it's a natural instinct for our body, like, hey, go find food, idiot. Like we're over here starving. We're gonna heighten everything for you so you can see that animal moving, you can smell that animal, you can then move quicker too as well, because we're going to give, you know, our muscles have like a governor in them almost, for a lack of better terms, because
right,
within the power within our muscles, we could actually snap our own bones. That's kind of why you would hear the story of the mother lifting the car off the child. What you don't hear is that mother did that at the expense of breaking nearly every bone in her body, because her brain overpowered that governor. But you're gonna your bones are gonna crack. There's 2 points usually holding them. I mean, the tricep has 3 heads,
you're
but
gonna feel that later.
yeah, well, yeah, you're gonna feel broken bones. She was most likely put into like either a wheelchair or a body cast, because I mean, it's a rare event, but it's at the cost of it. So your body has a way to kind of overregulate your physiological system. And
You're right.
you see it in times of great stress. So it's like mushrooms, and I can't speak for LSD because I haven't done as much research on it, but or I should say reading, not research, because I've never done research. I've only read up on research. So there's extreme medical benefits to it for our neurological system. And then as well, just the like I said, it turned me back to God, because when I saw two big blue eyes open in front of me when I had taken some like 2 years ago.
What?
It was the I can't stop looking at people. Like I have an obsession with eyes now. It's weird, but like two big blue eyes opened up in front of me, and I jumped off the couch and still had my eyes closed when I landed on my feet. Like, what was that? And then I had literally gotten a bruise on my hip that was like big. Like I touched it and it hurt. I'm like, what happened? And later on that day, my reading in the Bible was talking about how Jacob wrestled with God, and in turn of it had a bruise on his hip. I haven't told anybody else that either. I don't even know if I told my wife that, for Christ's sake. I don't think I did, but no, yeah, it was the weirdest thing.
You're
And
gonna know now.
I mean, it because they say that
Yeah.
whoever, if you are to look at God, we would not survive because he is so mighty, and so it's or so. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm gonna say it wrong if I do, and I don't want to. But yeah. So I think if they were regulated properly, I don't think kids should be out there doing them like I was when I was a kid because I think that can seriously mess you up because you need to be able to come back to touch with reality. Go ahead.
Your body's still developing too.
Yeah. And so I don't, but I do condone adult usage. If you're an adult, you don't have any, pre-existing medical, psychological conditions. As of right now, at least in my head, maybe they might help you, but I don't think you should do them. But I do think that that the regulation of them would help the situation because you don't get situations where either kids are overtaking them and then have a freak out, which everyone says, oh, what about bad trips? A bad trip is to me a reflection of that person because they're doing something fucked up in their life they know they shouldn't be doing, and that bad trip is them fucking having to think about that because that's what it's always been in my life. If I was doing
Oh,
something wrong, I would it would dote on me really bad when I took mushrooms, and then I would stop it. you know?
I think that's a case by case basis. I mean, I took the jail tabs when I was in high school,
Yeah.
and the only thing that happened for me to me was I saw trails and I kept laughing. So I didn't see anything. You know what I mean? Some
Yeah.
bad shit. You know what I mean? I mean, hell, like when I was hanging around with my friends on that Halloween, and then we're walking through the neighborhood. You know how you get that fake fire? It's made of cloth. You put up in the window and it looks like it's fire. From a distance, that shit looked real as fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting thinking to myself, I'm like, how come I don't hear no fucking sirens or the cops or nothing's coming and shit? And then until we got closer to the house,
Yeah.
I was still tripping balls. But I realized that it was fake. I was like, oh shit. But that shit looked crazy, man. That shit looked crazy as hell.
So there was a time, 2013, I got invited to go to summer camp. It's a festival, and I took an abundance of stuff, and it wasn't like I sought it out. I just had a buddy with me that just like here, 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 and that's just how we grew up together. So he would give it to me, and I would take it, and then he bought something for me, so I took it. I was a stupid kid, I really was. Um, but after we saw Big G and he did the Ceiling Can't Hold Us remix from Macklemore, I turn
Mm-hmm.
around and every tent's on fire. And I'm talking raging fire. Like I'm just like, what? And it was one of the like I can still vividly remember it. It was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen in my life. Also one of the scariest things though, because I then had to walk through that fire. And it was like, this isn't real. I know it's not real. I know I'm just seeing this. But not a lot of people could do that. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people have the and I'm not saying I'm special or anything like that, but I had the mental acuity to understand like, hey, this isn't reality. I'm just seeing this right now. But damn, like it but whew,
Could have been a real alter universe, you know.
dude, if they really have identified other overlying dimensions, then yeah, that very well is, and they claim to have found what 11 other ones. I think we talked about this before, didn't we? Or maybe it was someone else that I talked about it with.
That's remember.
I saw,
We
yeah.
touched on it.
I mean, but no, I'm pretty sure they found 11 other dimensions that they claim, the people from CERN, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. But so